What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and a special welcome to the Overskilled Gaming crew, to all the people who supported me in the past, to all the people who subscribed to the channel, to all the people who liked my videos. If you aren't part of the family, if you aren't part of the OSG crew now, hit that subscribe button, join this awesome community now. So you probably heard it all before. Blizzard is launching a new Hearthstone expansion on the 7th of August, and like in the last expansion, like in the Witchwood where we get the echo mechanic that defined the last meta, we also get a new mechanic in the new expansion, the Boomsday project. This time we get the mechanic Magnetic. Monsters with the new mechanic can be found in Warrior, Paladin and Hunter, but there are also neutral monsters which you can use in other classes than Warrior, Paladin and Hunter. There are two different uses of the new mechanic Magnetic. First of all, we need a mech on the board, so we always need something on the board that is a mech. So if we have a minion on our hand with Magnetic, we can place it either on the left side or on the right side. If we place it on the right side, nothing will happen and you just play the minion and can use its unique effects, its unique abilities. But if you place it on the left side of your minion on the board, both of the minions will combine, and they will also combine their attack and their life stats. So other than that, they will also combine their abilities. So if one of the minions is poisonous or has divine shield, this combined minion of the two probably max, will get all the abilities and all the stats added. So what we basically have to think about are all the abilities, all the options that we get from the mechanic Magnetic. So on the one hand, we can build a very big mech, just an attacking mech that just smashes your opponent and just wins you the game. On the other hand, you can play a little bit cheeky, you can play a little bit tactical, you can play around silence effects and stuff like that. You always can decide if you want to combine those mechs, and I think that gives you a wide range of tactical options, and that is just a beautiful idea which is included into the game. Besides of the magnetic effect, Blizzard also released the first cards of the new expansion. Let's look at them and see how good they really are. For now, Blizzard released 11 cards, and 2 of them are spells, you can see them on the screen, and 9 of them are minions. So let's start with the 2 spells. First of all, we have Biology Project, and the second one is the Myra's Unstable Element. So the Biology Project gives each player 2 mana crystals. So if you have a very mana focused, mana heavy decks with a lot of high cost minions, that is a very good card. And if your opponent is probably more like an aggro deck player or something like that, you can use that for your advantage. I mean, you can play all your high cost creatures very early if you combine it in decks with high minions. That it can be very useful. But for now, with just some cards released, it's very hard how this will affect the game, and it's hard to say if this is played. The second card, also very interesting, a legendary card, the Myra's Unstable Element, lets you draw your complete deck or the rest of your deck. So it is very hard, in my opinion, very hard to tell when and if this card is good. So you basically don't want to have this card at the start of the game. That is, I mean, completely clear. But when do you use this card? I mean, if you are very close to a victory, you can use it to just draw cards that give you the victory. For example, as mage, if you're looking for that fireball, you need that 6 more damage. I mean, it costs 5 mana. If you draw the fireball, you can finish your opponent, for example. And I think also an aggro deck, it's an yeah, possibility if you played out all your cards and you can draw 10 cards, 9 or 10 cards, depends, 4 or 5 mana. I mean, that is very solid. And yeah, I mean, a lot of your cards get destroyed, but in aggro decks you probably don't need your whole deck to win. So looks flexible, but yeah, I don't know, it's a bit clunky. We have to wait what other cards are released in this, yeah, in this Hearthstone expansion. So hard to tell yet, but those are the 2 spells that are released for now. Next to the spells, Blizzard released 3 legendary minions, and I mean, we all are excited for legendary minions. That is what the game is all about. And damn, 2 of them I think look really good. First of all, we have Zilliax, which is a mech with the new ability Magnetic. And yeah, if you have a mech on the board, you can combine this card and yeah, give your minion on the board everything that you want. It gets Divine Shield, Taunt, Lifesteal and Rush. So it is very flexible in mid-range decks, but yeah, also in control decks I can see this card played. It's a neutral one, so it's very good. Very usable for Paladin and Warrior. Maybe for Hunter, I don't know. Depends on how the meta, yeah, goes in, yeah, for Hunter. Yeah, can't say that yet because we only have 1 Hunter card released. But yeah, looks very great. Costs 5 mana, the stats aren't too good, but the abilities you get when you combine it with a mech on your board are just absolutely nuts in my opinion. The second legendary minion is Electra Storm Surge. That looks also very good in Shaman. Yeah, the text on the card is Battle Cry, your next spell this turn cast twice. So yeah, everything you cast twice. So yeah, that's just, yeah, it's so good. Shaman has so many burn spells, you can use it. Yeah, if you want to do the damage to your opponent's face, very usable, very good. I also think the card is good in like something like Token or Aggro Shaman. Think about the Blood Rush combo. If it just triggers twice and you have like 3 to 4 minions, it's so much damage you can inflict with it. The last of the 3 legendary minions is the new Mage legendary card, and it's called Stargazer Luna. And what it does, after you play the rightmost card in your hand, you draw a card. So it's basically a minion with good stats, but there are minions with better stats. And yeah, if it's on the board, you basically draw a card. I'm not too excited for this card. Mage already has a lot of cards that draw you cards. So yeah, and also the stats, like simply some mechs are better, or just a Jedi has better stats in total. So if this card is good, I don't think so, but we have to wait for more mage cards. Maybe it's, yeah, combinable in some crazy ways, so I don't know, but I think it's the weakest card of those 3 released legendary cards. So what other new cards do we have? So as I told you earlier, the magnetic cards are in Hunter, Warrior and Paladin, and so Blizzard released a Hunter card and a Warrior card, but no Paladin card. But instead they released a new Shaman card, and the Shaman card is the Menacing Nimbus, which, yeah, adds a random elemental to your hand. So basically it's just a 2 mana 2/2 elemental that fits in elemental decks, but yeah, we have to see if Shaman plays elementals or whatever Shaman does. So the next card is Spider Bomb for Hunter. It is magnetic, and yeah, it has Death Rattle, destroy a random enemy minion. So a more like control wave Hunter card that gives you the choice to play mechs in Hunter. So maybe an aggressive mech Hunter deck is an ability, and yeah, it gives you early tempo and a little bit board control. So not too bad. I don't know, at the moment we have to see what other mech cards, other magnetic cards, yeah, Hunter gets. So yeah, after we get more cards, we can say if this card is actually good. It looks fine, but yeah, can't tell too much yet. So the warrior card, the Beryllium Nullifier, looks very good in my opinion. It's a little late game heavy card. It is a 7 mana card with 3 attack and 8 life. And yeah, it has the magnetic tag on it. And it also tells you can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. So if you play warrior and if you can develop an early board with mechs, you can crazily combine stuff with this card. I mean, think about the mage duel. How does a mage want to remove this card if it is combined with other mechs that are already on the board? Yeah, looks very good, looks very solid, combined with other yet known warrior cards, and I think Blizzard will release other good warrior cards. So warrior seems to be in a very good spot with this card already. The last 3 cards that are released for now are neutral cards, and yeah, there are 2 of them are mechs, 2 of them have the mech synergy. It's the first one is the War Gear. It has solid stats, 5 mana, you get a 5/5, and if it keeps on the board, or if it stays on the board, yeah, very good to combine with the new legendary card, or also with the warrior card that I showed earlier. And yeah, also good when you can play it in turn 5, when you have a mech on the board already, a mech like the upgradable Framebot. Yeah, it's very hard to remove. It's 2 mana minion with 1 attack, but that's not important. It has 5 health, and that is very hard to remove that early in the stage of the game. And it's a mech, and that tells us it's combinable with magnetic cards. And I think that will be a card, the upgradable Framebot, that we will see being played in Hunter, Paladin and Warrior decks. And yeah, it's very strong. So the last card we have is the Omega Defender. Yeah, it's just a standard card. Blizzard tried to implement something new. It has Taunt and it has an interesting battle cry. If we have 10 mana crystals, we gain 10 attack. So should be a late game card. And yeah, you basically get 12/6 for 4 mana, which is incredible, but yeah, still a bit clunky, I don't know. Seems interesting, but I don't think it's too good. Looks good for arena obviously, so if your opponent can't remove this card, yeah, it can inflict a lot of damage. But the 2 very exciting cards are the upgradable Framebot and the War Gear. So those are all the new minions, all the new cards, and I have to say a lot of them look very exciting. Looks like we get a totally new meta with the new mechanic, and yeah, that looks very interesting. So thanks for watching guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. Come back, watch my other videos, and that's it for now. I'm out. See ya!